आज हम जानेंगे प्लांट्स टिश्यू के बारे में। मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यू ग्रोथ इन प्लांट इज लार्जली रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू स्पेशलाइज्ड रीजन ऑफ एक्टिव सेल डिवीजन which is known as meristem. Meristos मतलब divided. Plants have different kind of meristem. The meristem which occur at the tip of the root and shoot and produce primary tissue are called apical meristem. Root apical meristem occupied the tip of the root while the shoot apical meristem occupy the distant most region of the stem axis. During the formation of leaf and elongation of stem, some cell left behind from shoot apical meristem constitute the axillary bud. Such bud are present in the axil of the leaf and are capable of forming a branch or a flower. The meristem which occur between mature tissue is known as intercalary meristem. It occurs in grass and regenerate parts removed by the grazing herbivorous. Both apical meristem and intercalary meristem are primary meristem because they appear early in the life of the plant and contribute to the formation of primary plant body. The meristem that occur in mature region of root and shoot of many plants, particularly those that produce woody axis and appear later than primary meristem, it is called as secondary or lateral meristem. They are cylindrical meristem, fascicular, vascular cambium, interfascicular cambium, and cork cambium are example of lateral meristem. These are responsible for producing the secondary tissue. Following division of cell in both primary as well as secondary meristem, the newly formed cell becomes structurally and functionally specialized and lose the ability to divide. Such cells are termed permanent or mature cell and constitute the primary permanent tissue. During the formation of primary plant body, specific region of the apical meristem produce dermal tissue, ground tissue and vascular tissue. This is all about the meristem tissue. If we see the permanent tissue, the cell of the permanent tissue do not generally divide further. Permanent tissue have all cells similar in structure and function are called simple tissue. Permanent tissue having many different type of cell and are called complex tissue. Simple tissue. A simple tissue is made only one type of cell. The various simple tissue in plants are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma form the major component within the organ and the cell of the parenchyma are generally isodermatic. They may be spherical, oval, round, polygonal or elongated in shape. Their wall are thin and made up of cellulose. They may be either be close packed or they have an intercellular space between. The parenchyma perform various functions such as photosynthesis, storage, secretion, etc. Chlorenchyma. It occurs in a layer below the epidermis in dicotyledonous plants. It is found as an homologous layer or in a form of a patch. It consists of a cell which are much thickened at the corner during the deposition of cellulose or hemicellulose and pectin. Collenchyma cell may be oval, spherical or polygonal and are containing the chloroplast. These cells assimilate food when they contain chloroplast. Intercellular spaces are not present here and they provide mechanical support for the growing parts of the plants such as young stem, petioles of the leaves, etc. Sclerenchyma. It consists of a long narrow cell with thick and lignified cell wall, having a fewer numerous pith. They are usually dead and without protoplast. On the basis of variation in the form of structure or origin and development, sclerenchyma may be either fibrous or scleroid. The fibrous thick wall, elongated and pointed cell generally occur in the group in various parts of the plant. Scleroid is a spherical, oval and cylindrically highly thickened dead cell with a narrow cavity which is known as lumen. and these are commonly found in the fruit wall of the nuts, pulp of the fruit like guava, pear, and sapato, seed coat of legume and leaf of a tea. Sclerenchyma is main work of the sclerenchyma is to provide the mechanical support to the organ. Now, if we see complex tissue, now complex tissue consists of more than one type of cell, and these work together as a unit, which, for example, xylem and phloem constitute the complex tissue in plants. Xylem function in conducting the tissue for water and mineral from the roots to the stem and the leaf. It also provides mechanical strength to the plant part. It is composed of four different kind of elements, namely trachea, vesicle, xylem fiber, and xylem parenchyma. Gymnosperm lack vessel in the xylem. Tracheids are elongated or tube-like cell with thick and lignified wall and tapering ends. These are the dead cell and are without protoplasm. The inner layer of the cell wall have thickening which vary in forms. In flowering plant, tracheids and vesicle are mainly water transporting element. Vessel is a long cylindrical tube like structure which is made up of many cells called vesicle membrane, each which lignified cell wall and a large central cavity is present. The vessel cell are also divided of the protoplasm, and the vessel membrane are interconnected through proliferating in their common wall. The presence of vesicle is characteristic feature of angiosperm. Xylem fiber have a thick wall and obliterated central lumen. These may either be septed or asepted. Xylem parenchyma cell are living and thin wall, and their cell wall are made up of cellulose. They store food material in the form of starch or fats and other substance like tannin. The radial conduction of water takes place in the ray parenchymatous cell. Primary xylem is of two types: protoxylem and metaxylem. The first form of primary xylem element is known as protoxylem, and the lateral form is known as metaxylem. In stem, protoxylem lies toward the center, that is towards the pith, and the metaxylem lies toward the periphery of the organ. This type of the primary xylem is known as endark, and in roots, protoxylem lies towards periphery and metaxylem lies towards the center. Such arrangement of the primary xylem is known as exarch. Phloem transport food material usually from the leaves to the other part of the plant. Phloem is in angiosperm is composed of seed tube element, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fiber. Gymnosperm have albinous cell and sieve cells. They lack sieve tubes and companion cell. Sieve tube element also long tube like structure arranged longitudinally and are associated with the companion cell. Their end wall are perforated in the sieve like manner to form a sieve plate. A mature sieve element possesses a peripheral cytoplasm and a large vacuole but lack a nucleus. The function of sieve tube are controlled by the nucleus of companion cell. The companion cell are specialized parenchymatous cell which are closely associated with the sieve tube element, and these sieve tube element and companion cell are connected by the pit field present between the common longitudinal wall, and the companion cell have been maintaining the pressure gradient in the sieve tube. Phloem parenchyma is made up of elongated tapering cylindrical cell which have a dense cytoplasm and nucleus. The cell wall is composed of cellulose and has pith through which plasmodesmatal connections exist between the cell. The phloem parenchyma store food material and other substances like resin, lactin, mucilage, etc. Phloem parenchyma is absent in most of the monocotyledons. Phloem fibers, that is the blast fiber, which are made up of sclerenchymatous cell, and these are generally absent in the primary phloem, but they are found in the secondary xylem. These are much elongated, unbranched, and have a pointed needle-like apices, and the cell wall of the phloem fiber is quite thin. At maturity, these fibers lose their protoplasm and become dead. The phloem fibers of jute, flax, and hemp are used in commercial purpose. The first form of primary phloem consists of a narrow sieve tube and referred to the protoploem, and the lateral form of the phloem has bigger sieve tube and is referred as metaploem. This is all about the tissues